Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 14. And the news of the day today is it is frigidly cold. It is so cold outside. Without the wind chill, it's 4 below zero this morning. And luckily, everything at home is good as far as the furnace. I think it's fixed, no problems there. Temperature stayed perfect all night. In fact, I actually turned it down a little bit because it was too warm in the house, so thankfully all that is good. But today I am driving my wife's car, and the reason for that is obviously I don't want to drive that big truck around as cold as it is outside, and the fuel economy is already so bad. So she will be without a car today. Unfortunately for her, schools are closed for a second day in a row because of the cold. The high today is going to be about 12 or 13 degrees, and it's not going to be above freezing in my area until at least Saturday, possibly Sunday. So it's definitely cold out there. Got in the car, started it up, let the car run for about 5 minutes before I left home, and it's still so cold in the car. I have to have the maximum heat on the defroster or the windshield starts to freeze. That's how cold it is out there. So hopefully things will get a little bit better here in a little while. The other news is I have to stop to get fuel very early on in the trip, and that should hopefully last me most of the trip. Definitely when it's this cold, you really don't want to have less than half a tank of fuel in your car, and it just keeps it from freezing. When there's less gasoline in the car, then it could freeze. So last night we went to dinner, and we had a good dinner. One of my kids wanted me to bring food home, so we ordered that, so that put us over the $100, and with everything else added, it was quite a bit over $100. And the waitress took off the excess amount, made it exactly 100, so I gave her a nice tip yesterday. So that was definitely worth it. This morning, a lot of things going on as well. So this morning I have a meeting with some Europeans. Unfortunately, they like me to be on camera when I do the meetings, so I hate that. But I will have to have my camera turned on, so I'll have to have my coat off, the fake background on the computer screen while I sit in the car and do that meeting. I will be presenting a lot of the time, so at that point I'll turn the camera off while I'm presenting anyway. So that part will be okay. And that meeting should be short, only about half an hour. But as you know, I am on call this week, so I need to keep an eye on tickets coming in, requests, things like that, as well as monitor our security posture, our security software. So that will keep me a little bit busy as well. So today is going to be one of the longer routes. I'm not going to be at my first casino for quite a while. Definitely after the meeting, and then it'll be a while after the meeting before I get there. A little bit of bad news. As you know, I have this F-150 pickup truck temporarily as my car is getting fixed, the BMW that I bought from this dealer. He called me up yesterday. He said he got all the parts in and decided that he doesn't want to fix it because it's going to be too costly. So he offered me my money back on the car, which I said yes. And he offered me a chance to buy another car from there and get the difference back in cash, which I will probably do. The thing I'm torn about is, do I want to buy from him or not? I don't know. The first car treated me pretty well, really. I mean, for the amount of miles that were on it, it was pretty good. He offered to buy it from me. He didn't know how much, but I can't imagine it's going to be more than $1,200 or $1,500. So I need to make that decision today. I have not changed the transmission fluid in it, so I don't know if it's going to be fine or not. But with the number of miles on it, I would say probably not a good idea to keep it. So my thought is, tonight, when I get home, I can get that fluid changed at someone's house, not at my own, obviously, because I don't have room in my garage, because we have so much stuff that we own. But I'm not bragging, I'm saying how terrible it is that we have so much junk. But I could change that fluid, drive that car out to see him. We could sit down, figure out how much he's going to give me for that car, add it to what he owes me for the car I bought from him, and if I don't find anything I like there, just get it all in cash, whatever, $6,000 or whatever in cash. Then I could take that money somewhere else and buy a car. Or, God forbid, we could always just get a new car and actually be happy. I don't know. So that's stuff that I'm going to figure out on this trip, and hopefully you should have my decision on that this episode. We'll figure out what we're going to do on that. So a lot of balls up in the air right now, a lot of crazy stuff happening right now. The biggest thing is staying safe, getting a new car, and then figuring things out from there. So right now I am continuing my trip, and I will stop to get fuel, do my meeting, stop to get fuel, continue my trip, do my meeting, continue my trip, and then stop at the first casino. So that's the plan for today, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So continuing on here, I stopped for gas, got that all taken care of. So cold. And got back in the car, continued on my trip, got 7 miles away from my first stop, and I had to stop for a meeting. So did that. I'm surprised I got as far as I did, honestly, but the roads are pretty quiet today. A lot of schools and businesses are closed today, so that's actually helpful to me. Right now I am getting ready to get back on the highway. We're going to continue on, get to our first casino, make some good money, hopefully. And I have a mounting list of tasks to do for work, and I'm going to try to get some of them done. Every time I go to a casino, when I'm leaving the casino, I will try to get a few things knocked out, and I'll even look at some emails while I'm driving, just looking at it on my phone. And I'm in the wrong lane here, and there's a police car in front of me, and it's going to be very hard for me to switch here. So that's going to add a couple minutes. Unfortunately, nothing I can do here. I'm going to have to turn around, and we'll see what happens here. So excited about my first stop here. This one's going to be a slots only stop. They do have blackjack here, but I don't play it anymore. So maybe on this shift, it's possible, but I'm probably not going to do it. The next stop is a very tolerant place where I can put big money out there without any problems. So that's what I'm going to do. So you're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So I was in there a very long time playing slots. I walked in, I looked at the second machine I looked at, first machine I sat down at. I'm checking it, it's right there. I've got like $20 in free play. Put that in there, gone. I put 500 in that machine, played it through. By the time it was over, I left that machine down like 370, 380, somewhere in there. So definitely was a bad start. I check out the machines near it, nothing there. Check out the must hit buys, nothing there. I check out one that I normally look at later on in the day, because there usually aren't plays, but when there are plays, they can be very expensive. I figured, well, I'm down almost 400, might as well go for it. So I checked it, there's nothing there. Walk around to some new machines, I look at them, and I'm still a little nervous about the entry points on those, but I decide just to let them go. Play a few more little tiny things, and I'm still down about 380 at that point. So I decided to go back to the newer machines that I don't know very well, which I don't recommend. And of course, they had to be the high limit, ones. One was at $20 a spin, one was at $25 a spin, and I played both of those through. I ended up with 2 W2s on those, and ended up breaking about even on those. I was down as much as, at my low point, I was involved for 4,900, and I had less than $100 left. And I ended up recovering most of that, and I ended up leaving down $349, which in itself is a miracle, but still very frustrated with myself for playing that first machine. I shouldn't have played it, and then I shouldn't have played those other plays on the high limit ones because it was unnecessary. And I actually got lucky that it didn't get much worse than that. So a little frustrated with myself right now. Work is stacking up, and frustrated about everything right now with the way the things are going with the car, everything. So hopefully things get done okay today, things get done early today. I can get home in time to go make a deal on a different car. If not, I may have to wait till the weekend. I'd really hate to have to wait for the weekend. I may have to do it 5 in the morning or 10 at night, depending on when I get home, but I need to find a way to figure this out. Still mulling things over, haven't decided anything yet. So as once I finish up, I decide to take one more look around, just in case something new developed while I was in there. And I saw a guy that I had never seen before checking machines. So, I'm a daring guy, so I just walk right up to him and say, "Hey man, can I ask you something?" And he's probably like, "What is going on?" He looked very nervous to me. And I said, "Hey, that machine right there, how do you play that?" And he was like shocked that I would even approach him about anything like that. But he said he wasn't familiar enough with it to play it. But he was checking all the stuff that I was. I mean, he knew what he was doing, but I did get more information about that one, which makes it even scarier. And I doubt that I would ever play it over $5 a spin again with the new information that I just got today from somebody else. So I think I got lucky, but still very frustrated. And then I asked that guy, if he's from the local area. He said that he was. So it's interesting. That's another guy that I've never seen before that's coming in here, taking money away from us. So anyway, that's where we are right now. I'm moving on to another casino. I'm a little over an hour away from it at this point, and we'll go in there, hopefully get some good variance on some blackjack. I'd love to win a couple thousand on blackjack today, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Alright, I am approaching the next casino. I'm calmed down a little bit, feel a little bit better. I watched, one of the things I watch on YouTube is Brad Owen. I think he's a lot better than some of the other guys that do their vlogs, but we're similar in a lot of ways. And so he reminds me of me, and he reminds me of a lot of things that I've gone through, that he's gone through. And so I just watched his second to last video that he's released, which was the free roll for the WPT online thing. And that helped calm me down a little bit and get my mindset correct for the next spot, because we're gonna try to make at least 1,000 at this stop on the blackjack. There isn't going to be a lot of opportunity as far as slots, so we're going to work hard. We're going to be in the trenches, and if we have a quick winning session, we may go to a different area of the casino and try to have another winning session there. So that's what's going on right now. When I get back to the car, I got to catch up on some work, so hopefully I have about an hour or hour and 15 minute good session, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, just leaving this casino. I was in here for I don't know, hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. I had a couple sessions. First when I walked in, didn't find any slots to play, which is no surprise, because this is an area that I used to never see Chinese, and now they're basically camping out here, which is pretty bad. So I hate to see that, for anyone to be doing that, because it's not equal opportunity for all of us to be able to get to it, and you just sitting there all day. It's just not right, and I'm surprised that casinos, especially this casino, would allow that. But anyway, probably just haven't gotten enough complaints about it. I did find a low-limit blackjack table to play. Sat down, very happy, very confident, ready to go, ready to make money, and just got slammed right away. I lost about $800 without winning a hand, and I won only like one or two hands after that, for the next, I don't know how many more, 10, 12 hands. So I got off to a really bad start. I was down about $1,000 on the low limit table right away. And the next couple shoes went by, not much happening. Next shoe goes by, and I have a decent finish, even though I lost a max bet on the last hand. I ended up leaving that table ahead $200. There was some commotion going on, a lot of pit bosses in there. One of the dealers wasn't feeling well, and they had to take her out with a wheelchair, and the paramedics were there, and there was just a lot happening in there. So I guess maybe that means I should have stayed a little longer, but I was just going by my normal thing, which is when you expose your top bets and then you continue on, you end the shoe on a top bet. I try not to stay till the next shoe unless I'm down. So plus 200 on that one. Continued on, looked at slots again, found nothing still. Then found another table to play, bought in for 500 one of the chips that I had from the other table. Bought in for that. And initially it was pretty flat, not really much happening. I had a little bit of a bad luck streak for a little while, and then finally I ended a shoe. Actually, it was in the middle of the shoe that I left, because we had a running -9 with about 2.5 decks to go. I was plus 500, so I ended up leaving that table plus 500. And I didn't mention it, but there was another guy at the table, so the table was going slow because he was playing the side bets. Negative count, two people on the hand, two people on the table. So I ended up leaving plus 500. So overall, plus 700 on the blackjack. Went back to the slots again, found nothing. So that was it for that location. We're going to continue on to another location. This next place is a place that I've been avoiding because I've kind of had some suspicions about this place, that something not right is happening here. I can't prove anything. I'm just saying that it's probably bad variance, but I've had a really rough time at this place lately. So another thing I wanted to mention is I just haven't felt that great lately playing blackjack. I haven't had nice runs. I haven't had any big things happening. It's just been very plain, very ordinary, not a lot of positive variance, just scrounging around trying to make a nickel here and a nickel there. And frankly, it's been a little bit deflating. Man, listen, glad my car doesn't sound like that, my goodness. So it's been a little bit deflating, and so just haven't felt great. Meanwhile, right now it's 10 degrees outside, and I'm driving here, and I'm seeing homeless people sleeping on the sidewalk. How can the city allow this without taking those people somewhere safer? I mean, they can die. No one's even going to know. You fall asleep, and it's that kind of temperature, you could die. Oh my gosh. It's really crazy. Got to watch that guy to make sure he doesn't make that 0.3% on that hand playing blackjack, but there's people dying on our sidewalk, and we don't really care. It's unbelievable. Anyway, we're moving on to another casino, and I'll be back to update you soon.
All right, guys, I am back, and the craziness continues. It's just like a whirlwind because not only is it incredibly cold, but right now, we're sharing a car and having to travel long distances and be home at a certain time so that someone else can use the car and all that kind of stuff. It's just a little overwhelming. That's why I'm hoping that maybe tonight I can get that other car. Depending on how traffic is, I do have to drive over an hour from home to go to this guy's place. So hopefully I can go pick up a different car tonight. So anyway, whew, so cold. I just walked into this place and looked around at slots, and I found one play. My goodness. Wow, what a difference. I found one play, and I played that through. That was actually a 75-cent play. 75 cents. This is one of the newer games, and one of my friends here in the area kind of opened my eyes to this game, and I played it through. It took me, I think, only like 6 spins to play it out, and I ended ahead like $108, $109 on that game. So plus 109 on that, which is awesome. And then I did play some blackjack as well. When I went to look for a table, had a hard time finding anything reasonable. I finally found a table, and they were almost done with the shoe, and this place does not do a great job at penetration. And I got to go back to something else. They don't do a great job at penetration. It's like 1.25, 1.5, which is high for me. It's not that great for me. And in fact, I've actually gotten into arguments here before with, I don't recommend it, with the dealer, especially one dealer that just does not give a damn. He wants you in and out. He wants you to lose. He wants you to be gone and out of his way because he's incredibly lazy and doesn't want to have to work. And that's honesty. That's not me bashing anyone. That's honest. So anyway, he likes to lean on the table. He's a big, heavy guy, and sometimes I wonder how that table holds him up because he leans on it so hard you actually see it bending, which, I mean, if you know the construction of these things, you're talking about 4x8 boards that you use for your floor that they're using to build these tables, and the guy is bending probably a 5/8 board. But anyway, back to the topic at hand here. I ended up playing it at this table after the shoe ended that someone else was playing, and I was talking to the guy. He actually was telling me that he had already played at a different casino, and he had lost $14,000 at this other area casino, and then he came to this casino, and I'm like, what are you thinking? And just seeing the way that he plays, he was playing $100 on the hand and $100 on the side bet. It's like, that means you have to win every single hand to break even if you don't win the side bet. Think about that. You have to, that means if you get a blackjack, then you put out $200 to make a $50 profit. That's how bad your game is, and you're wondering why you're losing. You have to have an unbelievable run to have a chance to win at that game the way that this guy was playing it. Oh, who's this? Oh, okay. Let me see. A friend of mine sent me this link about this guy that we know, and I'm not going to talk about, you would know who it was if I mentioned it, because I've talked about seeing this guy everywhere. I didn't realize who he was or how famous he was until recently, and I'm not going to out him, even though all the stuff that happened was a long time ago. I'm not going to do it. That's not who I am. Anyway, I ended up playing at that table for about 45 minutes. He lost another $7,000 at that table for a total of $21,000 for the day. Oh, that's just awful. He ended up leaving, and then I played a couple shoes by myself, and I ended the session ahead, only $500. and it was a very, very bad variance table most of the time. And I got lucky because the counts were low, but he wasn't counting, and he was raising and raising and raising, and we were losing 10 or 12 hands in a row. And there's no way, if you're not counting, that you're going to be able to keep up if you're losing 10 or 12 hands in a row and losing the same amount on the side bet. It's not possible. So I ended up leaving ahead 500 there, plus 109 on the slots. And I'm walking around looking at stuff, and I see a friend of mine, and I say, "Sir, didn't we talk to you before?" And he looked over at me for a second, but talked to him for a little while, and he gave me the update on this other guy, about who he really was and stuff. So very interesting. And then I do want to update something else. Earlier I said that I won $200 and then $500, 200 and 500 on the other two tables that I played. It was actually $250 and 500. I put $50 in chips in my pocket because I had purple chips, I had $500 chips, and I had $25 chips, and I wanted to be able to reach in my pocket to get $500 chips if I needed them without pulling everything out of my pocket to look at it. So I put the $25 chips in a different pocket and forgot to cash them out, but I can cash those out the next time that I am in the area. So I was actually ahead another $50 that I hadn't talked about. Right now, not doing well on time, pretty much behind on time. When I finish up at my next location, I'm going to decide what to do as far as going to look at a car tonight or not. This guy would have to stay and wait for me, but I know he's interested in getting this resolved since there's so much money on the line. I'd given him all this cash for this car, and he wants to sell me another car, and he wants to get all the titles straight and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll be in and out of the next place within 45 minutes, and I can still go see him tonight. So we'll find out about that. That's what's going on right now, and I am heading out to the next casino. The temperature is up. Finally, it's 12 degrees. Once it gets into the 20s, I'm okay, but when it gets to the 5 degrees and below that Fahrenheit, it's pretty brutal, especially with the wind that we've been having. So anyway, you're all caught up. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, just continuing my trip here. And right now, things are kind of borderline whether or not it will be possible for me to maybe go look at a car tonight. I sent a text message to the guy and haven't heard back from him yet, so it might be a little doubtful, but we're gonna try. I went into that casino and I found some plays. They were all very unusual plays and higher risk plays, and for the most part things didn't work out great. Lost a little here, a little there, and by the time I left, I ended the session down slightly. I was down $112, so lost 112. Saw some people that I knew in there, and I had a free meal in there, so I used it. I got a chicken club sandwich, which was good, and yeah, really, I wasted some time in there looking for other plays, but there really wasn't much else. And then I just ended up leaving. Right now, I'm heading toward home. It's 17 degrees outside, and we'll see what happens from here. But let's go through our segments. What did you eat today, MW? And actually, today, the only thing that I had to eat was that chicken club sandwich, nothing else with it, just the sandwich. It was pretty good. I don't know. It's okay. I'd give it like a 9 on a scale of 2 through ace. The chicken was done well, and it didn't seem like it was frozen and defrosted and refrozen or anything like that. So it seemed like it was pretty good. And what did you tip today, MW? And today I hit 2 jackpots, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because the plays overall didn't go too good, and I ended up tipping $10 on each. So today I tipped a total of $20 on slots, and I played 3 sessions of blackjack, and on those 3 sessions I tipped $0. So the total for the day is
$20 in tips. So, yeah. So right now it's getting dark and got hours to get home here. So I'm going to sit back and relax and try to focus on what I'm going to do about the car and tomorrow and things like that. And the next 2 days are going to be really hectic. I have a lot of meetings, and both days I have a 2-hour meeting toward the end of the day. So that is not good. Luckily, there's going to be a lot of people in that meeting. However, I don't know if they're going to be asking us to participate or do anything. So at least for the first day, I'll have to be available the whole time and keep an eye on it. And then if there's a large group, 100 people, 50 people, whatever it might be, then I might cut out the second day, just turn the phone on, connect it to the call, and then just put it in my pocket and do my normal thing. So we'll see what happens with that. Overall for the day, it was an okay day. It's just I haven't been feeling it lately, but we'll see how it goes the next couple weeks. Hopefully things get a little bit better and we have some more exciting things. Maybe I'm just so used to what we do that it's like I'm numb to it, up or down, I'm numb to it. And that may not be great, so I may have to re-examine some of that stuff. Now, in the following weeks, in the next few weeks here, I'm going to be going back to 2024 and examining each casino I went to, what games I played there, and how I did, which ones were good, which ones were bad, and I'll report back to you and let you know how those numbers all panned out. So that's where we are. For now, I'm going to continue my trip home. If anything else happens today, I'll just add it to tomorrow's episode. For now, if you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.